What's up guys? Welcome back, or if it's first time to my channel, welcome. Back with you today for another Goodwill used movie haul. Today I'm filming a couple videos here today, so look forward to some content over the next couple weeks. Been able to hit Goodwill a couple weeks in a row going to buy groceries, because as I said in previous videos, and I want to apologize first and foremost if the background noise is a little bit too much. I am washing dishes. I'm filming in, which is basically the dining room, but dishwasher's right there, so hopefully that's not too noisy for you. Hopefully that's not too much of a distraction. Anyway, as I've said in previous videos, when I go grocery shopping, there's a Goodwill just right across the street. I usually try to pop in, see what they've got, if they got anything good. This Goodwill, I've gotten some gems there before, so I always try to check there as often as I can. Like I said, usually it's when I go grocery shopping because it's right there. But today, got a little bit of a mini, it's a haul, but it's more of a mini haul. A couple new things to share with you today. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. If you enjoy the videos, please, like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Any interaction with my video helps the channel, lets me know how I'm doing. I especially love comments. Comments are the best way, especially if you have anything to say about any of the movies. If you agree, if you disagree with my takes, feel free, as long as you're respectful. That's cool. I enjoy talking about movies. That's the whole point of having this channel, is to rap about movies. Well, let's go ahead and jump right into it today. And this is mostly movies, or this is a majority movies. That's usually what I buy. But I did end up grabbing a couple of CDs. They do have CDs for basically $1 each there. But I did end up grabbing this here, the Cyndi Lauper debut album here for my fiance. I didn't think she had it. Luckily, she did not. Grabbed that for her. Like I said, it was only $1 there, 99 cents. So again, not breaking the bank if you want to grab some CDs from the Goodwill. And for myself, it's like I had this CD growing up. This is Jewel's debut album, Pieces of You. Grab this for $1. This is the one that has Who Will Save Your Soul, Foolish Games, You Were Meant for Me. So grabbed that because I did not, I owned it growing up, and I purged all my physical CDs years and years and years ago. It's been at least probably 15 years ago, which I regretted every day. It's like I didn't have cases for them. I had them all in a DVD, like a CD binder. But I regret it every day that I got rid of all my CDs. Some I had since I was probably a tween. I regret it. And this one was kind of strange because I guess somebody had listened to the CD and is like, I guess these are the ones they liked and these are the ones they didn't like. But that day I think Jewel's whole discography was there that day. But I ended up picking up at least the first one because that's the one I remember the most, and that's the one I had growing up. But on to the movies now. Grab some CDs. But on to what you're probably watching this for, and that is the CDs. Or the movies. First of all, on DVD, I got How to Train Your Dragon. I have the second one. I ended up buying it, I think, at Dollar Tree back when they used to do the big movie drops. And I had that one, and the first one I saw I don't think I've actually seen the second one. I own it, but I haven't watched it. I have seen this one, however, and I really enjoy it. So it's weird that I didn't have this one, but I had the second one. But I ended up picking this one up for $1.50 or $1.49 to be exact at Goodwill, and it's in really good condition. It's like that's I always check the discs, always make sure that they're not all scratched to hell, especially like kids movies or family movies. Like those are usually big culprits and being like all scratched up. It's like I've had to pass up on some movies because the disc was in such bad condition. Just today when I went to Goodwill. There was one that I really wanted, and the CD was so scratched that I ended up passing up on it. Next up, I'm surprised I did not have this one in the collection. This is one I really enjoy. I used to watch it all the time back in the day on Comedy Central. Starring Jim Carrey, we have Once Bitten. This, of course, is a comedy with, you know, horror theme about a vampire. Here it says Mark, which is played by Jim Carrey, has just one thing on his mind: going all the way. He is a virgin. He has a girlfriend. But while his girlfriend keeps telling him he has to wait, he meets a beautiful vampire countess who's ready for action. He does not know that she's a vampire, of course. Mark's just happy to get past second base, but after a one-night stand with his sexy seductress, Mark starts behaving more than a little baddie and realizes he must find a way to break his lover's fiendish spell or be prepared to work the graveyard shift forever. This one I love this one. This is like one of Jim Carrey's like earliest movies. Probably coming off the success of being on In Living Color, which was, you know, his big break. This one is so good. Like I said, it's a horror, or it's a comedy, but it has the horror elements, vampires, and, you know, kind of has a little bit of a dark, some dark themes and stuff like that. It's definitely like a teen comedy because of what it's about. You know, kind of being centered around like sex and being a teen and wanting to you know, lose the V card and all that kind of stuff. It's really, really good, really funny. Like I said, I'm surprised I don't own it, but I've watched it a lot over the years. It's one of my favorites, so I had to pick that up again. $1.50 is a steal for that one, in my opinion, and it's like another, you know, most wanted movie in the physical movie collection. Next up, this one was one I picked up from. I don't think I showed the disc on this one. This one's just a plain old crappy disc, like no special art or anything on this. One side is standard, the other side is the widescreen. So, and again, disc looks great condition. Case is beat up a little bit. It's kind of gross, but the disc, which is the most important thing, is looking pretty good. Next movie, I picked this up for my fiance. She just told me she really enjoys this movie. I've never seen it, but now again, I don't have an excuse not to watch it. But she said she really loves this movie, so I found it, picked it up for her since she didn't own it. The Man in the Iron Mask. I mean, this cast alone is pretty epic. I mean, this is like the who's who of the 90s here. Leonardo DiCaprio, Jeremy Irons, John Malkovich, Gerard Depardieu, Gabriel Byrne. It's just the who's who of actors in the 90s. Again, it's like, never seen this movie, but I don't have I don't have an excuse now. Maybe eventually I'll give this a watch and enjoy it. Most of the time it's really got some crud on it. It's got some like green crap on there. It's pretty gross. Yeah, I clean all of these off, clean all these really well. The cases, the discs, all that stuff. Once I make sure that they're working and everything, clean everything real good. I don't keep the cases personally. My fiance does. But yeah, I clean up everything real good because it's like, that's some of these stuff pretty grody. So make sure you clean this stuff, alcohol, antibacterial wipes, whatever you got. Like, make sure you clean. If you're buying used media from Goodwill and stuff like that, make sure you clean them really good. But yeah, haven't seen that one. Hopefully I'll eventually see it, end up giving it a watch. My fiance and I pretty much see eye to eye on most movies. So, you know, if she enjoys a movie, usually I enjoy it, at least, you know, as a one-time watch, like just to experience, just to be like, okay, I've seen that, you know, and stuff. It may not end up being like a one that I watch, you know, every day or something like that, but it'll end up being something I'm happy that I experienced. Next up, on to this one I already own, but I had to pick it up because it is a deluxe edition of the Resident Evil, the first one. Of course, Mila Jovovich, Michelle Rodriguez. Was not a fan of this movie when I first saw it, when it first came out. 2002 is what the back says. Was not a fan. I have never been a huge Resident Evil fan, like video game franchise wise. I remember, because I never owned any of them, but I had friends that did. One in particular, my friend Michael, used to come over to my house and spend the weekend or spend the night or something like that. And it's like he owned them, and I remember like him bringing them over and playing them, and you know, me just kind of watching, experiencing with him. So, you know, I remember them being a big part of, or not being a big part of, you know, my childhood or whatever, but I was aware of them, and I'd have to say it's like I've become more a fan of them now than I was back then. But as a movie, I wasn't a big fan of this movie when it first came out, but it grew on me. I love the second one. Apocalypse is my favorite. But this one grew on me, and I do really like it now. I appreciate it. But this is the deluxe edition, so it has alternate ending with director Paul Anderson's video introduction, cast and filmmakers commentary, visual effects commentary, 11 featurettes, filmographies, theatrical trailer, and much more. So yeah, it's like I already own Resident Evil, just the standard on DVD, but I ended up picking this one up because it's a deluxe and has a bunch of special stuff, especially that alternate ending I don't think I've ever seen. So for $1.50, I decided to pick this up. It's pretty cool. It's like I kind of don't want to get rid of the case just because it's kind of a cool case. It's got kind of this like a little bit of metallic sheen that you can't really see on camera. And then there's the disc, and I think the disc is very similar to the disc I have. It may just be a different color. But yeah, I ended up grabbing that one again just because it's the deluxe edition. So why not? All right, last but certainly not least, my last pickup, I got the collector's edition of The Jackal. I saw this one time way back. This was 1998. I probably saw this in like the early 2000s for the first time. I remember really enjoying it. I've always liked Bruce Willis. I've always been a Bruce Willis fan. Never really a Richard Gere fan. But love Bruce Willis. Love most of what he's in. Watched this, and I was rooting for the bad guy the whole time because it was Bruce Willis. And I just remember really liking it and liking his role in the movie. His work in this movie, whatever. So I ended up picking it up, and it's the collector's edition, but it does not say what special bits is in this. And also did not realize that The Jackal is based on the screenplay of the 1973 film, The Day of the Jackal. But yeah, this has Bruce Willis, Richard Gere, Sidney Poitier is in it as well. And like I said, I saw it way back in probably the early 2000s, and so I don't remember a whole lot about it. I do know that Bruce Willis is, what does it say here? I don't... Let's see. Aware of the Jackal's... a ruthless assassin, Willis, has been hired to eliminate someone at the very top of the U.S. government, constantly changing his identity and location. He is known only as the Jackal. Everything about the hitman, including his sinister timetable, is a secret. Aware of the Jackal's presence but uncertain of his purpose, the FBI's deputy director, which is Poitier, faces the biggest challenge of his career. In order to track down his cold-blooded killer, he, an by-the-book Russian intelligence officer, enlist the aid of an imprisoned Irish terrorist, which is played by Richard Gere. These unlikely allies enter a global race against the clock to stop the mysterious mercenary before he can complete his deadly assignment. But there is the disc there, just has the name and the collector's edition on there. Has a nice little book in there with basically the front cover, and then has some pictures from the movie with the chapter selection and stuff like that. So pretty cool. Also has I think a little bit about the director and stuff in here as well. Okay, there we go. There's the special stuff. The making of the Jackal. Getting started, 2 separate stories, research, location is everything, getting the shot, credits, deleted scenes, alternate ending, okay. Theatrical trailer and production photographs. So there you go. That's why wouldn't they put that on the back of the back of the case to let you know what special features is on it, to kind of persuade you to buy it, since it's a collector's edition. Anyway, doesn't really matter. I bought it anyway because I didn't own it. So for $1.50, I mean, hell, I just wanted the movie anyway. But it is nice to kind of get extra stuff, because at least when I had a smaller movie collection, especially movies that I had watched a lot, sometimes I would just kind of get bored and be like, let me check out the special features, and I would watch the featurettes, the making of, all that kind of stuff. So that's always fun, and that's always really cool. So what I miss about DVDs is like Blu-rays, I mean, have some of that stuff too, but DVDs used to pack the disc full of stuff. You would get all sorts of featurettes and interviews and all kind of stuff and on DVD releases back in the day. But there you go. That is my haul. This haul, Goodwill. Paid about $10. Got a bunch of new movies and stuff. One for my fiance. Got some CDs and stuff like that. Not bad. Goodwill, one of my favorite places to shop. Number one, because it's cheap. And like I said, it's like the one that I go to, I've gotten really lucky finding some gems. It's like, for me, this one, I have to say, it's like the Once Bitten was a nice find for me. It's like, did I really need the Resident Evil? No. Did I really need Jackal? No, not necessarily. It's like I said, I watched it one time way back in the day. I haven't seen it since, but who knows? Maybe I'll watch it again. But like Once Bitten, that's one that right off the bat I was like, well, I'm buying this. Because a lot of the time when I go to Goodwill, I'll just be pulling movies like, oh, okay, this, and I'll have a stack, and then I like go off to the side, and I pull up my list on my phone, my collection, and make sure it's like, do I have this? Is it, if I have Goodwill, sometimes you get lucky and find Blu-ray, but sometimes it's like, okay, I have this movie, but I have a DVD, I can buy the Blu-ray, I can do an upgrade or something, stuff like that. So I usually will go over to the side, cross-reference my list, and see if I have the movies and stuff. And, sometimes I forget what I have, and that's why I have a list on me, because it's like I'll start, oh, I do have this one, and kind of, start shrinking my list down, and then I kind of decide, because I try not to really spend more than like $10 usually when I go. So, I'll sit there and kind of, do I need this? Do I need this? And kind of whittle my pile down accordingly. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. I just wanted to make a quick video again before I get in the process of checking these to make sure that they work properly, cleaning them and all that stuff. And then at least the ones that are for me, they will be taken out of the cases, put into CD sleeves, and put into the collection. And, want to do that, obviously. Wanted to make a video, obviously, before I do that. It's much easier to show the movies this way than just show you just grabbing a disc and being like, this is what I have. But that's going to do it for this one. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, like I said at the start, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you've seen any of these or any of these, what do you think about them? Do you, have you seen Once Bitten? Have you seen Jackal? What do you think of them? Do you think I, found some good ones? Let me know. I'd love to hear it. That's going to do it for this one, guys. Again, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, stay awesome and keep collecting.